Getting out on the field on a game day is just another opportunity to get better and, to keep practicing my craft and, obviously do whatever it takes for, this team to win. That's my job ultimately. And like I said before, I'm excited to do that, excited to show what I can do on the field. And I'm just glad the opportunity's here.
Welcome into the New Orleans Saints podcast presented by Rouse's Markets. Alongside running back Devin Neal, I'm Erin Summers. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am good. You've made it almost through the year, right? Gotten a taste of New Orleans.
Right.
A little different, I'm assuming, than Lawrence, Kansas.
Right. It definitely is.
What has been the biggest adjustment?
I would probably just say the people. It's obviously a really deep South rooted. So, I'm kind of used to that just because my family's from the South. But, it's pretty fast paced here. But the people are really nice. And, not saying people are nice in Kansas because they really are. But, I think there's an extra level of like family feel here for sure.
Yeah. Everybody is very accommodating. What would you describe, the culture here like?
I'll probably say what I just said, like the family, or like it doesn't really matter, who you are. Like you can be a random stranger and they'll kind of embrace you like a family member. And, I find that really cool. I know definitely my family has felt that too. When they've gone out and about, when they've come to games, they said that this feels a little bit different. So I'll probably say that for sure.
When did it first hit you that you were officially an NFL player?
Honestly, I think it was really after the first game. Just stepping foot in the stadium and then that atmosphere that I hadn't gotten to experience before. It was definitely that like, wow, I've really made it. And, obviously now I have to do whatever it takes to, stay in this position. But it was really cool. It was definitely an atmosphere I haven't experienced before.
So it wasn't the draft? Wasn't getting a call?
No, it really wasn't. Like that still was still a dream come true, obviously, but it still didn't feel real necessarily until that first game where
sure, you put the uniform on, you run out of the tunnel.
Yep, for sure.
What is a draft moment that stands out for you?
Well, other than the prank calls that I got, I got plenty of those. But it was just cool.
Like throughout the days?
Yeah. I got many prank calls from different people, posing to be different teams and stuff like that, which it's not funny at the time, obviously. It was really frustrating. But, now I look back and it is kind of funny because it's like, how do people even get access to my phone number?
How did you know when it was the real call?
Kind of guessed, honestly. Luckily, when Kellen kind of came on the phone and I recognized the voice, I'm like, okay, this sounds real. Because at first I was just like, all right, is this the real one? Because I think honestly the AI is so crazy now. Like I think the first couple calls I had, I legit thought were real because it sounded like coaches and staff that I've talked to during the draft process. So it was really frustrating, but at the time. But after that call, it was just like a big sigh of relief because it's like, okay, it finally happened. And then the celebration kicked on with all my friends and family back home. And it's a day I'll never forget. It was special, and it's even more special to be able to come to this place for sure.
Did you have a welcome to the NFL moment?
I think against LA, I don't remember what his name was, but he did hit me kind of hard. And I was like, okay, I got to buckle up a little bit more. But I would say it was that for sure.
Mm-hmm. You've talked about developing an all-around game, showing that you can do everything as a back. You can be a receiver. You can be a pass blocker. We've seen you lay some hits of your own. Mm-hmm. So you have that mentality. Yeah,
definitely. Honestly, my mindset around it, especially as being a running back, is I feel like I need to be all faceted in every area. I need to be polished in every part of this game as a running back, and especially the pass blocking, whatever it takes to lay hits off of the quarterback. I think that's the most important job for a running back, honestly, other than running the ball efficiently and stuff like that. If you can pass protect, I think it really transpires into a whole different level of what you can do as an offense, and especially with protections up front with the O-line as well. So that's really important to me, and I focus on that each and every day to keep on getting better for sure.
And you don't mind going up against whoever it is, size?
I don't. No, I don't. I just have that mindset. You just gotta get it done. Whoever it is, and survive the down, and especially because sometimes you gotta end up on a D tackle, on a D end, and you just gotta get the job done at the end of the day. So it doesn't matter. You can't really go in this game with fear, in my opinion. So you gotta put your best foot forward and just take your shot.
I remember talking to you in training camp and you were dealing with an injury, and it'd been first time in your career that you had to sit out.
Yeah.
And you didn't really know how to handle that.
Yeah, I mean, it felt weird just, sitting back and watching the guys play, and especially in this position where I kind of didn't know what was going on, and there were still many unknowns of how everything works. And so I was pressing a little bit, but at the same time, I just held true to my faith in what I'm doing and what I've shown so far at that point. And also, holding faith to this coaching staff that, sees something in me and just sees my development. And, that's why I continue to reach out to them. It's like, hey, what can I do to get better and stuff like that. Just always asking questions.
Mm-hmm. It sounds easy to say, you just have to stay ready, but there's a lot that goes into that. Sure. So, how did you stay ready without being able to actually go through the motions?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of prepared myself in a way that I'm going to, start or play at any given moment. I go into the week, taking the practice reps seriously, taking the film seriously, whatever coaching points that the coaches are talking about, making sure I'm jotting those down in my notes to make sure I remember, just because you never know what can happen in this game. And anytime that I was active, and just like the Chicago game where, obviously Kendra got hurt in the situation, and I don't wish that upon anyone, and he's one of my closest friends on the team. And then that happened, and then now I'm just thrown into the game, and easily I could have been unprepared and, let the moment kind of, trample over me, but I was prepared in that moment for whatever was to happen. And so I was able to make the most out of my opportunities. I just feel like that's just the way I've gone about it my whole career. In college, in high school, I've just always prepared myself in a manner that way to be over prepared for the moment. So that's kind of how I go about it.
Yeah. Part of your game that you're most focused on improving?
I'd probably just say continuing to play with the necessary speed. I know I like to play with patience, but sometimes you just got to hit it, and you got to prepare yourself, or not necessarily prepare yourself, expect yourself to come out of tackles, to break more tackles. I think that's an area I can still improve in. Obviously I still can improve in pass protection as well. I don't think that's something that you can ever really perfect. Sometimes you have to just take your shot, but I'm going to continue to be the best I can at that, and just because I do view that as one of my most important traits for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the pass protection, those are reps you actually have to get in a game. Yeah. Because you're not out here on the practice field, right, laying hits like that on each other.
You're not, nope. So yeah, you definitely just have to, each rep is different, especially in the game. So you kind of have to just learn it just on the fly. And so you kind of have to, sometimes you might take a hit and you're like, okay, he's doing that, and go back to the next rep and do the best you can to understand that and just do better.
Sure. How do you handle the mental side of the transition that you had to make from college to the NFL to sitting out for a little while, being now thrown into a larger role? And there's got to be a lot of stuff you have to juggle. Yeah,
I mean, there's definitely a lot of moving parts, but like I said earlier, I think it's just holding true to my faith in my own ability and staying prepared. I think that's helped me the most is when my opportunity has been given to me, that I am prepared, because I could only imagine if I was unprepared how I'd feel. And so being that I am prepared, I have a certain more confidence about it when I go out on the field, that I can just play free and play loose, because ultimately that's what you want to get to when you play the game. So I just think my preparation, how I've gone about it, has helped my mental. And honestly, all the ups and downs of the season, when I was active, when I was inactive, I wasn't really letting it get to me, just because I love this game, and I already kind of knew what it was. I knew we had two great running backs ahead, and if I had to sit back and learn from those two guys, that I still viewed that as a blessing as well, because they've done it, especially Alvin. Like, he's done it for 9+ years or whatever the number is, and Kendra's done it for a few years now, and both those guys have had their success. So I want to learn from them and be a sponge as much as I can. So that was big for me as well. Like, I wasn't going to press to say, oh, I need to play now and get all frustrated and woe is me. That's just not how I go about it. I'm just going to put my head down and work.
How has that dynamic been between you and Alvin Kamara? What have you gleaned from him?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've gotten really close with him. And he's taught me a lot about this game. And obviously, he's seen a lot of successful teams. And obviously, the season's not going the way we wanted to. But, I think he's also really helped me on the mental side of things and be able to still stay prepared and to see certain looks that I haven't seen before and how he goes about it and stuff like that. And obviously another way of how he take care of the body too. It's not obviously our position is pretty grueling. It's not easy to play as many seasons as he has, and I think that's remarkable. And so I ask him a lot about how he does take care of his body, what he does outside the football facility to make sure he's as fresh as he can be to go in every game week.
Who are you closest to on the team?
I mean, there's a lot of guys I'm close with. I'd probably say Tyler, though.
Okay.
Me and Tyler have a really close connection. His wife, my girlfriend, are pretty close as well. So that obviously makes it pretty easy and
that
share a
helps.
backfield together. But I would say him. There's definitely other guys that's probably just as close, but I would say him for sure.
Well, you two developed a lot together on the scout team, I would assume.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. That was just fun. You don't really, on scout team, you don't really have to think about the play call so much because you're shown a card. So that's just fun. We're just going out there winging it, just giving the best look we can to the defense, but just ultimately just enjoying the game we love. And I think we did kind of find a weird connection during that too. So it was pretty cool.
Is there any moment where the starting defense was like, oh, wait a second, Dev's got some speed, or he's got some moves?
I don't know. I think there was a couple runs early on where they were like, okay, I see it there. Like they kind of see what I can do, and I'm glad these last couple weeks I can kind of show the team that I could bring some juice and be a contributor to this team for sure.
You said you hadn't had a workload like this because of the way the season had gone.
Yeah.
You mentioned you had two backs in front of you since college. Mm-hmm. So it must be nice though, just sliding back into it.
For sure, yeah. It feels like I'm back into my form, back into or just preparing and playing a full game. Like I haven't had that feeling in a long time, and I'm obviously super blessed to be in the NFL and doing it. Obviously it came in unfortunate circumstances, but definitely excited to build on it and continue to get better, and do whatever it takes to get these wins in these last few games of the season. I think it's important going into the offseason that we build a confidence, that we build an identity for who we want to be, especially as an offense. So I'm excited for that challenge for sure.
What would a successful rookie season look like for you?
For me personally, just to continue stacking on each performance, staying consistent, and that I think that's the most important trait you can have, is to be consistent, and continue to just keep elevating every aspect of my game and do whatever it takes to get a win.
Yeah. When you went to college, you decided to stay home in Kansas. Why?
Why?
Not because it's a bad place to be, or grow up or anything, but going into playing football.
Yep.
It wasn't a football program per se at that point.
Yeah.
So I think some people had some questions as to why, if you were going to pursue
a
career there.
So I mean, for me, I was pretty highly recruited for football and baseball, and it was big for me to want to play both. Had dreams of playing both football and baseball pretty much my whole high school tenure, and going around different places. Some teams wanted me for football, some teams wanted me for baseball. A few wanted me for both. I think a lot of teams were kind of afraid of that challenge, like, oh, when are we going to get him? When are we going to be able to develop him, and this and that? But ultimately, Kansas wanted me for both. And, Coach Lipo didn't recruit me at the time. That was Coach Miles. But when Coach Lipo came through, I got a little nervous, and I was thinking about, hey, should I continue going here? This is a whole different coaching staff. I don't really know these guys. But, I sat down and talked with them, and, they already had a full, blueprint of how this thing's going to go out, how they're going to plan each spring, how they're going to plan off-season workouts and stuff like that. So that gave me confidence that they knew what they wanted in me, and that they, made it a priority for me to be able to play both. And that meant a lot to me. So on that side, that's kind of why I wanted to stay. But on the other side, I've always been a guy who's kind of wanted to build something, who wants to change the culture, change the program. And it was a dream of mine to, turn my hometown school into a football program, and not just a respectable one, but one that dominates. And, I think at one point we got to that point, and it meant the world to me, and all the records and accolades, I never really dreamt of. That's not what my main purpose was, but that was just the cherry on top for me there. And it was special. I had a special career there, and, I wouldn't change it for a thing.
Yeah. I've talked to some people at Kansas, Coach Leipold, they speak of you glowingly about what you did for the school, the community there, and just the character that you are. So the fact that you set out wanting to do that, it's a huge task.
Yeah, for sure.
but the fact that
that.
you carried it out and did it is pretty impressive.
Right. Thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
You ended up playing 7 games, baseball games, your freshman year?
Yeah, my freshman year I played 7 baseball games.
So you ended up doing both?
I did. Yeah, I did. And then it got to the point where, you know, body-wise, it wasn't going to be able to maintain. And I saw that pretty early. Like, I was realistic with myself. I could have easily still played both. You know, we ended up getting a new baseball coach as well. And I had many chats with him. He wanted me to play both as well. But, you know, there was a point where, you know, I kind of had to see how, you know, the older you get, you can't just recover the same. You have to spend more time recovering, spend more time training, and that's ultimately what I wanted to do. There was never really a point in my life where I focused on one sport, and when I focused on football, you know, I watched my game transcend to another level because I just spent more time developing my traits, and so that was huge for me, I believe.
What position did you play?
I played center field.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what point did you realize that maybe the opportunities would be more on the football side, and that was why you were pulled in that way?
Well, my freshman year, you know, there was 2 running backs ahead of me. One got hurt, season-ending injury, and then another one ended up transferring like week 3. And so I was seeing playtime early, just a small amount of carries, like 5-6 carries a game. But then I got kind of jumped into the leading role, you know, by week 4, and you know, I kind of took off from there. I can't remember the exact yardage. I think it was 700, 800, and I'm like, okay, you know, that kind of built my confidence. Like, oh, I can be a good back. But then, you know, my sophomore year came around, and I just had a different confidence about myself. And leading up to that season, and after all the training, and I was watching how practice was going and how I just developed my game, and you know, it got to the point where it's just like, I don't know if I can maintain playing baseball right now, and my projection for football is looking a lot better than it is for baseball. So I just had to make the tough decision and just roll the dice and go with one, and you know, test my luck there.
Yeah. Well, you end up becoming the program's all-time leading rusher. So seems like you made the right decision. You get drafted. You're playing in the NFL now. Yeah. What is a memory that stands out to you from your time at Kansas?
Ooh, I have plenty. I can go to my freshman year. I would probably say that was the turning point. You know, my freshman year when we went to Texas and won that game, I think that was a turning point for our program because it gave us the confidence that we knew we could play with anybody in the country, you know. And then sophomore year we go 6-7. Then my junior year probably was the ultimate, you know, I guess put it all in like one word, just the ultimate sacrifice for a team. It's just, we went 9-4 that year. They haven't done that in, I don't know, 15 years. But just what we did in the offseason, we really all sacrificed for each other. I mean, I haven't been part of a team that close. And we did everything together. We spent countless hours off season together, film, having fun, you name it. And it really mattered. And it seemed like every game we were out there, you know, we were going to win. Obviously, we lost those 4 games, but even those games were close and we were right there. And it just meant everything. We won a bowl game, and because the year before we went to our first bowl game, but we lost it. But this year we went to a bowl game, we won it, and we haven't done that in 15 years. And you know, just to win it was a pretty high bowl game in the Big 12, and just to win it and see the joy, and not just the players, but the AD and all the fans, like it. Then we came back to Lawrence, and just everyone's reaction to that. It was really life changing. Like it really was, and you know that meant the world to me, especially being from that city, and it was everything. So I would probably say those are just a couple of my biggest memories, I guess. Yeah,
no, those are good ones for sure. And it was a national story as well. I mean, there was, you guys did a lot that hadn't been done in a little while. What was the biggest adjustment for you going from college and maybe that brotherhood and what you had there to now the NFL?
Yeah, and you know, luckily, actually, you know, I feel that brotherhood on this team. I don't know, obviously, I don't know what it's like on other teams, but you know, the brotherhood, especially with where we're at in the season and what our record is, you wouldn't notice that if you walked into the locker room. I think guys are really close. You know, I do think I see guys fighting each and every day to do whatever it takes to get wins, and so that's been awesome. That's been a joy for sure. The number one thing I'd probably have to just continue to remember is, you know, the business side of this thing. You know, there are definitely different I guess, motivations, and that I'll have to continue to learn about, especially if I want to be a leader one day in this locker room, and what it takes to be a leader at the same time, and what you have to do outside the football field, on the football field, and in the locker room as well. So those are kind of just some things I've learned just in this small tenure, but other than that, it's been fantastic for sure.
So you have aspirations of being a captain?
Oh, absolutely. I've been a captain everywhere I've gone, and I hope one day the team views me as that for this team for sure.
Definitely. People have really enjoyed watching you and the way you've come onto the scene more and more every game this season. I gotta know, since you grew up in Kansas,
yep,
what was your professional football team that you cheered for?
Ooh, I don't know if they're gonna like me for that, but I was a Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
Obviously. That was a unique journey too, because they really weren't good for majority of my life, but we still deep rooted enjoyed watching them play. And then they obviously Patrick Mahomes gets there and they go on that tenure. So we've seen some good sports in Kansas recently. So, but I retired that. I'm a Saints through and through now. So
love that. When you have time outside of football, what do we do?
Ooh, I'm a homebody. I play video games. Spend time with my girlfriend a lot. Obviously, we live together, so I have to spend time with her.
You get to spend time with her.
Nah, yeah, I was really joking with her. She's gonna see it, and she's gonna be pressed about that. But
yeah.
No, but we're kind of just really enjoying the city. I think we love our neighbors. Our neighbors are lovely. Finding different food spots that we can get to. That is one thing that's dangerous, especially in my position. Like you gotta keep your body in tune. But this place got some good food.
It's dangerous for everybody, regardless of position.
It's some good stuff out there. We've experienced a lot, and so it's just cool, really, to enjoy the city. I'm like I said, I'm pretty much a homebody. I don't do too much, but definitely get out and about sometimes. Just go enjoy the city. Have
you thought about what the off season is going to look like for you?
I have, and that's the problem. Is I don't know what I want to do yet. I know I want to go home for a little bit. Obviously, go spend time with some friends and family. Both of us want to do that, but then figure out where I want to train. Like in the period where we don't have to report back to here, I'm gonna spend some time here, obviously, and I don't know. I think I'm going somewhere in Florida and training with some running back guys that I know and stuff like that.
Yeah, who's been the most influential person for you in your football journey?
Overall, I'd probably say Coach Gildersleeve. He was my strength coach at Kansas. Anybody who gets around him, he makes an instant impact on your life. Way outside of football. He teaches me a lot of life lessons. But ultimately, I just think he's just a sounding board for when you need things. Everyone's gone through plenty of stuff in their life. And, when I've gone through some of my hardest moments, he was right there, embracing me, just like a father figure would. And I see him being that for a lot of guys who come from rougher backgrounds and stuff like that, and just truly change their lives. So I would say him for sure.
How was growing up for you?
Growing up was awesome. For me, I was really busy. I was a busy kid. I played basketball, baseball, football. Yeah. And so it was just season to season to season. And I'm super blessed that I have the parents to be able to get me to all those games. And I've traveled everywhere, growing up, different states, because I was playing at pretty high level, especially for baseball. Baseball is a big travel sport. Yeah. And so it was amazing. And then the older I got, the more advanced sports got for me, and that kind of just ruled my life, and I loved it. I loved every moment of it, and I wouldn't change it for nothing. And I have a really tight, big friend group from all the sports I've played, and we still contact each other every day. When I go back home, that's first thing I did was, after I saw my mom and my dad, I wanted to go see them. So it was really cool, just my childhood and being around such a good group of people in general.
I was going to ask you what you would be doing if it wasn't for football, but you'd probably be like, well, I'd play baseball, or I would go play basketball. But so if sports weren't involved, what would you be doing?
I would probably be, I always grew up wanting to be a physical therapist of some sort. Either that or, kind of open up my own gym and train athletes. I still think that's still on the horizon for me. I definitely want to, when I'm done with everything, just want to help guys out, train, and then give as many life lessons as I can about things I've learned.
So you're still going to be involved in sports in some
Yeah,
aspect.
I'm still going to be involved in sports. I have to, for sure. That's just who I am.
At what point did you know that was what you were going to do?
You talking about like open up a gym?
No, like play, like be a professional athlete.
Oh, I don't know. Like, obviously you, as a kid, you grow up and you say, I want to be a professional athlete, but you don't really know what that means really. So, I mean, in high school, I was like, okay, I want to play professional sports, but I was taking sports seriously, but I didn't really know as far as it was going to go. But really, my sophomore, junior year is when I first saw it. It was like, okay, I have a chance. And that's where it kind of changed for me. It's like, okay, now I have to prepare myself like a professional athlete. And that was the difference for me. And that was big. That was a big transition, like mentally, because I think there's a difference between saying you want to be a professional athlete and preparing yourself like a professional athlete. And I think all those steps of preparing myself has led me to this point. And so I would definitely say in college around that time.
Yeah. Well, it's been awesome talking to you and getting to know you a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a blast. I appreciate you a lot. So thank you.
What's been just the favorite thing about the season or being a Saint?
Ooh, I mean, there's so much. I mean, I've crossed off already so many things I want to do in life in general, and dream stuff, and playing in front of a lot of my family across the country in different places that we've been. But obviously, I just got to say, this last week, my first start, I think it really honed in on the dream of what I want to get to, what I wanted to be my entire life, and it was a check mark for me. But I can't stop here. I just got to keep on building, and sky's the limit for sure.
Yeah, we're looking forward to many more starts, many more games from you this season and the future. So thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. It was a blast.
Thanks. This has been the New Orleans Saints podcast presented by Rouse's Markets with running back Devin Neal, rookie, enjoying his first season here with the Saints. Thanks for joining us.